This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
So this is for anybody that's got a dog. We are going to help you out today by giving you the top 5 behavioral issues that she sees and deals with and what to do about them. She's the owner of the Animal Psychology Center. I love how she thinks like a dog. Essentially, that's what she does. She really thinks like a dog, and that's how she can help people overcome these behavioral issues. So great to have Katherine Andrews back with us. How's everything with you today?
Good, really good. We are having a warm bout in our icy Arctic winter. So yeah, it's kind of nice. Sunshine.
So this is something that you deal with quite often. And what we're going to talk about, the top 5 behavioral issues, is really based on what people come to you with. Others may say, well, you know what? She missed number 7. That should be on the list, or whatever it might be. But this is predominantly what comes your way and how you help people and their pets, their animals, overcome those issues. So you want to do this in any order or no particular order or what?
Well, let me just kind of hit what people tell me, and then I'll tell you what the underlying issues are, and then we'll talk about what we do about it. How about that?
Sure.
Shall we plan? Okay, so generally I'll get on the phone with them and I'll say, what's going on? And they'll say, well, first of all, he's got separation anxiety. He's whining and barking, and he's going to the bathroom in the house, and he hasn't done this before. This is something new.
Mm-hmm.
He's and I'm going to kind of throw all these together because this might not be one dog. This is like several dogs that I'm hearing from. He's aggressive with his toys, with his food, not only with people, but with maybe other dogs in the household. He's barking and destroying things in the house. He didn't used to do that. And it's usually like he didn't used to do that. This is something that he's doing now, but he wasn't doing. Pulling on the leash, when he goes outside, just pulls, doesn't listen. And also generally not listening, not coming when called. And he said, he was better at that. He used to listen to me. Now I'm like yelling at him and he's still not listening to me. So that's generally what I hear when people are calling me and they're frustrated and they're mad. And some people are even at the point where, if this doesn't stop, I don't want him anymore, which is really sad. Because, I know that the dog knows what's going on. They always do. And how sad, how frightening that must be. Because what they're doing is they're trying to tell you something. They're trying to tell you, and the underlying issues are, is that there's something going on. They're fearful about something. Usually they're bored. They're having some anxiety. They're there's probably some inconsistency with training. When I start to talk to the person, like, what's going on? Like, have you moved? Have you had a new baby? Is there a new job? Or, did you stop training him? Did you stop working with him? Are you, and a lot of times we'll start checking those boxes, that he's not, the dog isn't getting his needs met. And that's why he's doing these things. He didn't do them before, but he's doing them now. So he's trying to get their attention, and he's trying to say, look, I matter too. I know that we have these things going on in our life, but what about me? And so, but he's doing it in a way that's not, that's negative. It's not positive, but that's usually what we do, right? I mean, when we are unhappy in a relationship with our partner or kids or something, what do? We act up, and we get mad and we say things that we shouldn't say. And so that's what the dog is doing. So the first thing that I do is start to talk to them about, what is the dog's life like? Does he get to go outside? How often does he get to go outside? Does he get to go on walks? And a lot of times people will say, well, I don't take him on a walk. I just put him out in the backyard. Okay, well, does he live with another dog? Does he get to play with other dogs? Do you go out and play with him? And sometimes the answer is no, you know, or sometimes it's like, well, we did have another dog, but he passed about 6 months ago, and so there's a lot of bingos there that I hit when I start to talk about the story because me, I'm I'm the voice of the dog. I'm the one who's the mouthpiece for the dog because I'm trying to figure out why he's acting this way. And, I have all my little troubleshooting that I ask. Does he have play dates? Does he go to daycare? And so what I try to do is, we usually schedule a session where the dog can come and we can do some leash work and we can do some reconnecting. And, you and I have talked about some of that. And remind me here, I want to talk about the reconnecting thing because our listeners don't get to do the session, but we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit, I think, so that they can sort of recreate that at home. But back to troubleshooting, look at it from his point of view. His day is pretty darn boring. He's not really
Mm.
having a blast every day, and so I try to say, well, let's consider this, your dog passed. Maybe we should talk about adopting another dog. Maybe we should talk about putting you in touch with a breeder that, because you love Pekingese and getting a new playmate for him, a new brother or sister. Maybe we should talk about the daycares in your area. We should talk about getting him on a leash and getting him for walks. And if taking him on a leash is difficult, then that's when we have our session. And that's what I'd like to talk about today is how to do that so that they're not pulling you and pulling your shoulder out of the socket. Because we can talk about that on the podcast here a little bit. But try to get them to see from the dog's point of view how they can make his life better and more meaningful and happier so that he's got something to look forward to. And, sometimes that gets missed when you start to see things from the eyes of the person next to you.
Well, you said the word bored, and I think many of us don't even consider that. They're living the life. Take them out every once in a while, feed them, love them, chill with them. They're bored.
Yeah,
We don't think
yeah,
about that. But
yeah,
they are domesticated, but they are wild animals. And what are they used to doing? Running around, sniffing, playing, looking,
yeah,
exploring,
yeah,
right?
right.
What do you
And
do
now, go ahead.
when you
What do you do?
when you suspect either you with your dog or you give us a clue that our dog may be bored? What's the recommendation there?
Talk about what is possible. You know, do you have friends that have dogs that you can get together with? Do you have a daycare that's nearby that you can go check out? Do you want another dog? Because dogs are happier in a pack. What's a pack?
Hmm.
More than one dog. They're always happier, just like us. They're not lone creatures. They're not solitary creatures. They're pack creatures, and they're always happier living in a pack. So, go to your local humane society or rescue. If if another if you're a breed aficionado, I'll help you find a good breeder who does their due diligence, and we'll find you another dogs that we can add to the family. So that would be the first thing is to for the boredom thing. And then second is, getting them back out into the world and getting them going places with you. And
Hmm.
that's one reason to get your dog the training to be a service dog is not only can they help you with that social anxiety and PTSD and whatever you might experience when you're out in the world that most of us do. But they get to go to Walmart and Sam's Club and Safeway, and that is so much fun for them. I can't even
Mm,
tell you how my dog looks so forward to going to run errands and shopping and just going to get the mail and every day. It's like time to get the mail, time to get the mail, and
mm.
love it.
Do you think that we don't realize fully that they're bored? We take they're probably way more bored than we think. And as I've learned from you, every dog has a purpose. Every dog has a job. We don't look at it as a job, but even if it's going for a walk in the morning, that's their job. They're out there
Mhm.
sniffing, looking around. We just think, just going to the bathroom. Big deal. No, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it
Right?
is a big job. Well, and I'll tell you, I've never worked with someone and kind of opened their eyes to this whole thing and partnered them up with their dog. And they, started to do more with their dog and include their dog in their life and take their dog, wherever they're going, whatever they're doing, include their dog. I've never had them come to me and go, that's a real pain in the ass, Catherine. I'm really sorry that you did that. Never, ever, ever. I've always had people go, you know what? I have so much more fun taking him to Walmart. I have so much more
Mm,
fun getting the mail every day because you know what? We go, sometimes we just go have coffee at the coffee shop and hang
yeah.
out, and or we go take a spin around the block, or maybe we go walk and get the mail, or we take the car down there and then we just, we go to the little park or something. But every single time, it always enhances their life to the point where I had one woman say, I used to just get in the car, run down there, do my stuff, run back home. And then I started taking Harvey, her dog. And, then we started going like to the coffee shop, and then sometimes we go to the park or something. Well, we were walking past the fire station and she met her future husband.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah.
It's to your point. I started taking my dog last summer just into town. I really take him into town. Throw him in I have an old crappy Jeep, which I just love beating on. I just, he's sticking his head out the window and I'll just put him on a leash. We'll just walk through town. And I love it. And now in
I
the,
know, right?
oh,
I mean,
I
isn't that like stupid? That is so much fun to just watch your dog having fun. Like
yeah,
just to open the window and watch them, right? And then to see people look at your dog, like when you stop at the stoplight and then your dog is
yes.
hanging out the
They
window,
start
like, and
waving
then
and
you look at them. Yeah, I mean, they are like an instantaneous high five, hello to the rest of the world, and a connection for you that is so positive. Isn't that cool? And you're
yeah.
missing that if you leave them at home. It's almost like, why have them? I mean, because you're missing that. It's something that is readily available. It doesn't really take any more time
No.
or
And you should be
effort.
doing it anyway. Getting out, going into nature, if you will, just getting some fresh air,
Mhm.
and you're taking your friend with you, and you're hanging out together. Eh,
Yeah.
it's cold out here where I am, as it is where you are, so can't really do it like I was doing it. But I should be intentional and just take them out again, just because it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I like to when it's this cold because some of my dogs are short. Oh, I'll tell you something else really crazy. I'll take like the pack of them sometimes with me, and then they all put their heads
Well,
out.
you're a brave woman. That's completely out of my wheelhouse.
And then I put like their sweaters on and everything, and so I have a Toyota 4Runner, and I open the back window, and of course I'm going slow and stuff, but because I live in a small town, but they're all like out the back window, and it's just so precious to see people's expression on their face when they see these
Oh yeah.
little guys, out the back window with their little outfits on, and there's a couple little Christmas hats that I have that they wear, and they know they look cute. So yeah,
All
it's
right, let me ask you a question there. So we're talking about behavior. Do the dogs that you connect with more times than not tell you? Yeah, I'm bored. Letting you know right now, giving you notice. I'm bored. Do you hear that from them?
I do, and that's because it's not because I'm crazy and need to see a psychiatrist. It's because I am on the dog channel. And let me give you a little example of that. I have some people who are clients of mine that live in town here, and he's the chief of police. His wife is a nurse, lovely people. And they have a dog that's 16, and his name is Cricket. And I've been seeing Cricket
Mm.
um, since he was probably 9 years old. And they were like, they said he's on his last leg at 9. And I'm like, I don't think he
Mm.
is, because I talked to Cricket, and Cricket had this ear problem, and the vet misdiagnosed it. It was an allergy, and he was itchy. And so anyway, long story short, I got him to change his diet. That all went away. Cricket's now 16. So yeah, the guy that was on his last leg like
Wow.
7 years ago. So he's 16 now, and I just saw him. He's like the only dog that I groom for someone else because I'm kind of like his auntie or something. So I just groomed him, gave him like a Christmas grooming, and um, they contacted me here again, and they said, we think it might be time for him to go because he's urinating and defecating in the house, and he's showing a lot of anxiety and following me around, and he just whining and everything. And I said, well, after my podcast, let me check in with him and see where he's at. And so I can do that. If I settle my mind, I can check in with Cricket and see what's going on with him and seeing if it is what he wants,
Mm.
if it is time for him to go. Because there may be some things going on with him on a level of like a major internal thing that is got him in a place where he's just uncomfortable. I have a feeling, because I checked in with him a little bit before the podcast, that it's his mind that's going, kind of like a dementia type thing, and that's why he's whining and having more anxiety than usual, and he's forgetting to go potty outside and doing it inside. And
Mm.
I think that it might be time because his mind is going. But 7 more years and he's, might be. But
He's hanging.
anyway,
We have an email, instantfeedbacksteve@gmail.com. This is from Shelly, who is in Fountain Hills, Arizona. And she says, my dog has started chewing our furniture. This has never happened, and nothing has changed in our home. We have a 3-year-old German Shepherd. Do you have any advice?
it'd be good, Shelley, to listen to this podcast from the beginning because we're
Mm.
talking about that. That falls right into my top five is the destruction of property, the chewing, um, into the boredom thing. And so I would say listen to this at the beginning and see where we might have some boredom and where you could get him out and about and get his mind. They're also there on Amazon. You can buy a bitter apple spray. I would use that in the interim to spray it. I spray it on my furniture, on my plants, because my cats eat my plants. It's harmless, and put that on things that you don't want him to chew on. But he's sending you a message and he's trying to say something's not quite right here. So once you try some things, like try getting him out of the house more, try getting him playing with other dogs more, whether that be daycare or play dates or taking him to the dog park. That's another one I forgot. I knew I forgot something, but the dog park is a good one too. More walks, that kind of thing, and then see if that behavior doesn't
Mm.
doesn't start to dissipate.
A lot of the things that we're talking about here.
Oh, I just
Oh, I'm sorry.
remembered something important. No, no, no. Your dog in the wild, because dogs and wolves are genetically so close, needs something to chew on. So many people miss that. Your dog at home here, my dogs have a little bucket of things here that sits out of things to chew on. And then they get special
Mm.
chewy things that they love in the morning and at night. And it helps them when they come in, they're all excited to take that energy down. German Shepherds are huge chewers because they're power dogs. So make sure in the wild, wolves will chew like 3, 4 hours out of the day. Dogs are the same way. My dogs
Wow.
chew all the time. They come in and they go to that bucket, they grab something, they go to a pillow bed. They're always got something to chew. And at the end of the day, I'm always picking up toys and chewy stuff. So that's going to be a big ticket for you too. Make sure he's got stuff, a lot of things to chew on, his own stuff.
The chewing thing, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being it is so important. There's not a question about it. Make sure your dog has something to chew, and let's not talk about this anymore. 10 is way up there. Where would you put this?
The chewing,
Yeah.
boy, it's probably a solid 8.
Okay. So
pretty
super
important.
important. All right. I don't have anything for my dog to chew. Didn't even think about it. Don't judge. I'm new
You
here.
know what? If he's
I'm new
not
here
used
to this
chewing
podcast.
things,
The what?
if he's not used to chewing, he's not even going to want to. So you're going to have to get him something really good to chew on. There's these things called kebabs. Again, Amazon, Walmart. You can get them there, and they look like shish kebabs, and they're little. My dogs think they're crack. I mean, they love them. You get them out and they're like, oh. So get your dog some of these kebabs and then also get them some of these chicken tender things. They look like strips of chicken. So start him off with those things. When you go to work, leave him with a kebab and a chicken tender. When you come home, give him a kebab chicken. At night, give him like a kebab chicken tender. Start him off with those.
Mm.
And if he's not chewing stuff, Steve, he's got to be chewing on stuff. That
Okay,
is so,
but question on that. Even if he's never been a chewer, and that's probably on me intentional because I don't leave him stuff to chew, and he's a good dog like that. He'll leave a couple little presents every once in a while here and there when maybe he doesn't have enough time to go out or I'm away, for a while. But he doesn't chew. But that doesn't mean he doesn't want to. It's just that he never had the opportunity.
you're not chewing.
Wow.
Yeah, when he finds, especially you're going to start him off with those chicken tender things, and they're just like duck too, whatever. But they're made from pure like chicken. Start him off with those, and then the kebabs. And once he gets into them, whole new world for him. He is gonna thank me big time.
I feel
Yes.
like
A
horrible.
bad parent.
Bad parent,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, we don't learn these things. That's why
Well,
we have people like me, because we don't learn these
yes.
things. We should.
You
We
know what it
should.
is? I feel grateful and blessed that he doesn't chew things. The furniture. Sorry, Shelley. I'm not having that challenge, but that may be the way that I raised him. But that doesn't mean that that's what he's happy about. He may want to chew, but he knows that he's not supposed to chew unless I give him something. Which I guess I'm lucky. He's not chewing anything else.
Your dog, from what you tell me, is a really good guy. He really loves you and really wants to please. Not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just not. People, dogs, elephants. I mean, not everybody's a pleaser. Your dog is. He just is.
He really is. I mean, I can't say
Good guy.
anything. And he's such a creature of habit. Like, when it's time
Mhm.
for bed, he knows the time. I start
Mhm.
walking upstairs. He follows me, jumps in bed, waits for a bedtime treat. And then
I can't wait to hear about the chicken tenders and the kebabs, though. That's like,
we were out of time. How many we only got to a few today, right?
yeah, I'm gonna write down the thing we missed about the leash thing, so we'll do it next time.
Yeah. And this is just a piece of what you offer in helping people understand their animals, change their behavior. Also, looking to have your dog as a service dog. That's also something you provide. And this can all be done virtually. What's the best way to find you, Katherine?
Animalpsychologycenter.com is the website. Get in touch with me. We'll make it happen. And we love to hear from you guys out there too. So send us some questions and issues.
Yeah, we'd love to hear them. Instant feedback, steve@gmail.com. Always great having you on here. Learn so much. I'm going to bolt over to Amazon right now or wherever and feel less guilty. And we'll catch up soon, okay?
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.